Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing another visit to the donation bag sent in by Captain Coinman. Now, if you've been watching any of my previous videos, you know we've already done a few of these. As you can see from the bag, it's already probably over half empty now. Yeah, quite a bit gone. That little lot, the previous lot, has been thrown into the main World Coin Hunt tub, which if you've been visiting before and you saw one of my previous videos, you see me chuck that lot in and we did a hunt and pulled a few actually from that bundle. Now what we're going to do today is just going to pull probably half of this little lot. We've probably got enough here for 2 videos today and one more. What we'll do is just pull them out, have a quick look at them. We won't go into any real detail because that's the sort of thing we can do in the main video. But for now, we can just pull a few out and go from there. Right, so we grab, I don't know, what I'll do, just tip a bundle out and see what we've got. Literally, I'm just going to sort through, see what's there, and pull a few more out. Just keep going. Oh, there's a hole in the bag. Found it. It's a hole. It's gradually getting bigger. Right, let's get these lot out of the way, shall we? So, like I say, all I'm going to do is have a quick look, see what we've got, chuck them over to one side out of the way, and go from there. And when it comes to actually, like I say, going into detail about what the coins are, we can do that during the actual hunt. So the very first one out, tell you what, if I zoom in, that might help. The lighting today is absolutely glorious for sunshine, but terrible for cameras. So for example, this one, our Magyar, so that's Hungary. And on the back, 1983, it's got the old Soviet star on it, 20 forint. This would be a nice one to pull. We've not had one of these before. Now this is one of the good things with this bundle from, like I say, it's come from Captain Coinman, one of my subscribers. And he's got a source near where he lives, and there's some amazing stuff coming out of there. Some that we have seen before, others not so often. So there we are. George VI, 5 cents. What's that? One of the African ones? Yeah, East Africa. 1942. So we've seen some of those before, but not overly often. Now, Netherlands, this feels like it's made of zinc, and I think this is a wartime one. It's World War II, German occupation. Yep, 25 cents, 1942. This would be a first for the channel as well, pulling this one when we come to it in live mode, as it were. So yeah, I'm not going to go through details of every single one, but there will be the odd one or two we'll look at. So it's a French 1956. What's that? That's French East Indies. Got an India 1947 quarter rupee. Oh, there's a Japanese one there, 10 yen. Again, details will be talked about, shall we say. We'll look closer during the actual formal hunts. But today is really just having a quick look at the coins, see what's in the bag. So it's a bit of a sneaky peek. So we've got Mexico, 10 pesos. Again, that's another one we haven't seen before. 10 drachma, Greece, yeah, 1973. Seen a few of those in the past. There's our Polish friend, 1977, 10 zloty. Yeah, this is one of the commemorative ones. I can't remember what the guy's name was off the top of my head. I know it's all written around the side, but I can't pronounce it. But we've seen one of those in the past. So this is really nice stuff. This is a Canadian. Get it in the focus. Oh, shiny. 2011, 10 cents. 50 centimu. Latvia, is that? Yep, 1992. Another 10 drachma. Got a fancy one. I always call these floral. I don't know what the official name is for the shape, but that is Guernsey. Yep, 1956 threepence. Juan Carlos I, that's Spain, 1980. 50 pesetas. And 1980 on the front, and in the star it actually says 80, so it shows that this one is a 1980. That could be a different date in there. The Spanish like to mess us around when it comes to minting dates. You've got to play hunt the date. There's another Mexico, 1944, 20 centavos. I don't think we've seen that one, so that'd be a nice one to pull, because obviously when we do the actual pulling I can try and look up more details during the editing. Oh, shiny, just got blinded by that one. What's that, 1 Yao? Yeah, or Jiao. I think it's Yao, I'm not sure. 1 cent, 1943, so that's another Dutch, yeah, Netherlands. So we've seen a few of those. I've never seen any of those until probably the last 6 months, and now I seem to find quite a few, which is nice because they're collectible. If you know me, I like my wartime stuff, so I've got a war period, World War I, World War II runs of dates. 5 rands, that's South Africa. Yeah, that way up. 2004. Is that China or is that Taiwan? Not sure. Here we go. France. This is a good 4, so that's 50 centimes, 1927. Oh no, Belgium. Yeah, France and Belgium both did the Bon Pour, the good 4 X amount. So it's, again, there's a year run of those that you can get going for different values. Finland, 1978, 1 marker, 100 francs. 50 cents, that's Hong Kong. Here we go, Belgium, 1946. 25 centimes. Again, we see these fairly often. I recognise that. I want to say India, but it's not. Thailand, I think, isn't it? I'm not sure what that is, but it's one of whatever. But again, it's the sort of thing, when we do the actual formal hunts, we can actually look into it. 1950, 1 Deutschmark. So that's the, yeah, that's West Germany. Ooh, hello, what's this? Ah, I recognise this, and I can never remember exactly who it was, but yeah, we've seen one of these before. It's Eastern Europe. I can never remember Lek. Who's the Leks? Again, I'm not overly worried at the moment. I'm having a brain fart moment. So another Spanish one. You are, see the date in there on this one, 1982. Exactly the same coin as before, but dated differently. Is that another Guernsey? 5 pence, 1979. There's some nice ones coming out of here. There's ones we haven't seen before for sure. Here we go. 20 centimes, 1941. That is, I think, I want to say Vichy, France. But that's also, ooh, yeah, definitely, that's zinc. Argentina, 2 pesos. We've seen those before. These are ones that I do like getting, and they're good for year runs as well. They're German. That's an A mint mark, which is Berlin, 1924. These came out between, I think, 21, 22 and the very early 30s. Yeah, as a 10 Renton Pfennig as opposed to 10 Rix Pfennigs. So there's different versions of the same coin. But because of the mint mark, there's 4 or 5 for each year. So for 1924, you're going to need 4 or 5 of these, all with different mint marks, to get the proper year run going. Morocco. Oh, that's shiny. 2002. Yeah. So that's that 10 Santimat. I can never remember what it is. I know they were French at one point, using centimes. That's another shiny one. That, I think, is Pakistan, 1974. So that'll be 1 rupiah, I think. Maybe not. Ooh, a couple more flowery looking ones. So you got George VI on the front. Clearly says Emperor of India. Turn it over and it says Ceylon. 10 cents, 1941. But Emperor of India was just one of his titles, so that's what the Ind Imp was on old coins. 1944, another Ceylon. Yeah, same frontage, same old verse. Syria, so I'm guessing that's Syria. The date there in Arabic, 1933, which confirms that date there is shown in Western. 50 piastres. And the fact it says sank makes you think that that was from the time of when it was a French colony, or French run, French territory, French something anyway. It's not just us British that had colonies. French, the Germans, the Spanish, the Portuguese. Yeah, it's always the British that get the finger pointed. Hong Kong, 50 cents. This one just caught my eye. Looks more like a gaming token. Colombia, 200 pesos, 1995. Interesting. Come back to that one when we get an actual hunt, that'd be nice. 10 centimos, Chile. Don't think we've seen that one before. Dirty great big condor on it. 10 cents, Republic of Kenya. Yeah, we've seen those before. Like I say, there's going to be a few that we have seen before, and there will be many, many others that we haven't. 1976, I want to say Isle of Man. Yep. I only say that because we saw one of these the other day. There's some really nice stuff in here. Upside down again, man. $1. Is that? I was the right way up. Singapore. Now, is that a coin or is that a token? Eiffel Tower, 1889, 1989. So that makes me think it's going to be a centenary, you know, a circulating commemorative type coin. How much? 5 francs. I have not seen this one before. So that's nice. Excellent. That'll be a nice pull when we get round to the main hunt. Here we go. It's our 1980 Spanish again. This time it says 81. So I think that's all 3 years, 80, 81 and 82. So we got ourselves a year run just from doing an informal coin hunt. So we've got France, 2 francs, 1940. Fairly common these days. These seem to be popping up quite a bit. And there, got ourselves, is that a double-headed eagle? It is. So that's going to be Russian, is it? 1895. 10 kopecks, I'm guessing. I don't know. I might have a look at that one in a minute, actually. I'll put that just off to one side. That's interesting. I'm starting to get into collecting not just the German stuff, and in particular a certain period in time, shall we say, but some of the old Russian stuff as well. It's quite fascinating. I've got a lot of old Russian banknotes, and like the old German stuff, they're very decorative. There we go, South Africa, 20 cents. What else have we got? Anything of interest there? There's a 20 something with a bridge on the back. Zimbabwe, so that would be 20 cents. Ooh, what's that? Government of Pakistan, 1948. That's a very early one then. 1 Anna. We have not seen that one before. It's interesting. Another Zimbabwe, 5 cents, got a hair on the back. 10 dinara. Yugoslavia. We've not seen one of these, I don't think. We've seen bigger currencies from Yugoslavia, but nothing this small, and nothing actually this small physically either. Gambia, yeah, we've seen Gambia ones before. 5 buttocks. I had to pronounce that carefully last time because it nearly came out as buttocks. I'm bound to make a few people giggle and a few people offended. I'm an equal opportunities offender, how about that? 1951, 20 Groschen, Austria. Nice. 10 Groschen, 1925, that's Austria as well. Right, just going to stop filming. There's a delivery about to arrive, and I think it's a bunch of German coins actually, so bear with me, I'll be back in a sec. Right, sorry about that, I'm back. I've just picked up my package from the delivery man. Ooh, I've got some German stuff in there. You know what? Let's have a little extra, shall we? Let's grab some scissors. Let's have a look, see exactly what we've got. No paperwork, so that's good. Where's my scissors gone? Wasn't expecting these actually for a couple of days, so this is a nice little surprise and very, very well timed. Here we go. A bunch of German 1 Rx Pfennigs. There's about 50 of them there. So what I'm going to be doing is going through them, cataloguing them at some stage to add to my little collection. So there we go, excellent timing. I'm not going to be doing a video on them because obviously there's too many of a certain logo on display, and yeah, people get a bit funny about that sort of thing, especially YouTube. Right, let's chuck everything away, get everything back to where we were. Right, we're somewhat distracted there. My brain's now working overtime. Where were we? 50 fills. South Arabia, excellent. I've got some South Arabia stuff. It was only around as a, I'm going to say as a country, as a region for coins. In, I think it was just 1964. Either side, it wasn't around. It became other areas. Part of Saudi, part of, I want to say Yemen or Oman, something like that. What we got there? That's another Russian one, 1998, 2 rubles. Oh, very nice. Here we go. Old stuff, pre-World War II, 1932, 10 centimes from France. In a very, very good condition, actually. 1979, 100 somethings. I'm going to say China, but that looks very Korean. Probably Korean. One way I was told to recognise Korean over Chinese or Japanese or any other language around the area is Korean's got a lot of zeros, what looks like O's in their writing. So there's a couple there, there's one there. So it might be a Korean one, I don't know. Again, at the moment I'm not overly worried. That's the sort of thing we can look at nearer the time of an actual hunt. 5 Pfennig, what year is that? It's a rusted up year. 1939? Nope, not going to be 1939, that's the old Imperial Eagle. So that might be 1919 in that case. Yeah, I think that's 1919. That's be about right. So that's a nice one. I think I've already got that one anyway, but with some of these old German ones, at the bottom underneath the tail you get a mint mark, one letter either side. So you'll have A or B, and so on. So again, that's where they're collectible from a point of view of trying to do a year run. One Ngui, we've seen one of these chappies before, Zambia. 5 milliams, not 50, that's a 5, that's an Arabic 5. 1917, I think, I'm not sure, I think that is Egypt. Yeah, I think that's Egypt. Let's get these out of the way, put them back. Got there Libertad, 1948, so that's going to be Argentina. Yep, 5 centavos, quite well worn actually. 1 cent, a couple of what look like hawks or kestrels, South Africa. 1 oar, back in the 60s, 64 with a squirrel, so it's Norway. 2 Kuhn from Croatia. 2007. 1968, 10 new pence. The size of that, I was going to say that's Ireland. Nope. Yeah, that's Guernsey again. Indonesia, 100 rupiah. 5 fils, 1964, that's the South Arabia one again. Yeah. That one I know I've already got in my own collection. It's quite a common one, that denomination. 1944 1 Anna. So that's India. That is 2 of something. And the year is 1929 maybe? Oh, man in a hat, man in a fez. Man in a fez, I think that's Egypt. What's that? Another Arabic one. The 7's actually a 6, so that's 1969. Qatar and Dubai. Yeah, again, that was another short-lived period of a country or a region that then went their own way. So Qatar became Qatar in its own right, and Dubai joined next door. 1940, American cent, so that's going to be a wheat penny. Yeah, see those fairly often. 50 kuros. Actually, going back, I was saying about wartime coinage. For us, 1940 was already at the height of the Battle of Britain. But for the Americans, it wasn't wartime. So if I was to collect American wartime coinage, I wouldn't be including 1940. They weren't involved at that point. So it sort of throws it out a little bit. 50 kuros, so that's going to be Turkey. Yeah, Very nice. There we are, another Qatar and Dubai. That's 10 whatevers. 1966. Another chap in a fez. 1941. Backwards E like that, or I'll just say a backwards 3 or an E is a 4. So it's always confusing. Trying to learn dates is difficult enough when it's not your main language, but I'm starting to master the Arabic dates. But I'm going to try and, my next move is trying to learn a little bit of Cyrillic. Best of luck on that front. 1 cent, grow more food. Where's that? Oh, Seychelles. Okay. Very small coin. Aluminium as well. Lose that in a rush. Tunisia, 25 centimes, 1919. French Protectorate of. Yep. Excellent. 5 euro cents. I do like getting these every so often. I post up shorts saying 5 euro cents. Guess which country? And then you've got sort of 4 or 5 seconds before you flip it over and you see what it is. In this case, it's the Netherlands. Is it that way up? Yeah, it's that way up. But yes, or is it that way up? I can't quite work out the writing. I think it is that way. She's face down. But yeah, it's, that's another one I don't have, I don't think. Another Finland. 1 marker. 50 somethings, flowers of some description. Ah, South Africa. 76. Another Argentina. 5 centavos, 72. There's some really good stuff coming out of here for collections. Hong Kong, 50 cents. Slightly more in value than normal. Cyprus. 5. Oh, Cyprus. I can never remember whether Cyprus was milliams, cents. But yeah, so again, I'm not overly worried at the moment. That's a problem for the actual hunt. And I can engage the brain to Santami, so that is Latvia again. Yep, 2000. There's a 5 euro cent. Who we got there? 2011. There's a crown over an A. Is that something like Albert? Is that, yeah, it's BE, it's Belgium, isn't it? Not seen that one before either. That's a nice one to add to the little collection. Who have we got? $1. Ah, Jamaica. Very small coin for $1. 25 cents. Ceylon, 1943. Singapore. Oh, Struth, that's bright. I just blinded myself again. 10 cents. Half Sol de Oro. What on earth? Oh, Peru. Okay. Don't get many Peruvian coins, so that would be an interesting one to pull. 10 ore, Norway. Bolivar Libertador, so Venezuela. Yep, 1977. Oh, drops his shilling. What now? 200 somethings. Not sure. I can't quite work out the writing on that. Too much glare. Definitely an African country. Here we are. Says the word Kwanzaa. No, can't quite work out the writing on that. Well, that'd be an interesting one all the same. George VI, 10 cents. Commissioners of Currency, Malaya. Not that many left. We've still got a fair few in the bag, and we've already gone through quite a few as it is. So we got CX, so that's like Charles X, Christoph X, 1 ore, so that's Norway. Trying to work out that date. That's a very old date. Let's have a quick look under my magnifying glass. That's interesting, that one. This is what I'm like with world coins. I go off on a tangent, something terrible. Come on, where are we? 1919. Okay. Interesting. In 1977, Poland, 5 zloty. 2007, 50 cents. Mexico. Didn't see Mexico up until a few months ago, and there's now quite a few out there. Just goes to show what the flavour of the month is. All the different people selling coins, they must get them from other sellers. And some just sit in boxes or bags under a desk somewhere for ages, and then they suddenly come out. Now, if you've noticed, we've not had any or hardly any French 1 franc, 5 franc, centime coins or anything like that, or even the Spanish 1 peseta. Get a load of those in normal bags. So wherever Captain Coinman gets his little supply from, that is a nice little gold mine. So 50 francs, 1952. That is very shiny. 5 something, is that Indian? No. Pakistan, 1972. Not far off from the end now. Česká Republika, so that's the Czech Republic. Can't remember what it is they have in the Czech Republic off the top of my head straight away. Not a problem for today. 20 cents. Yeah, we had that one earlier, similar to that, I think. South Africa. There's 1 zloty, very shiny one. There's a lot of shiny stuff in here, I'll say that, even for old stuff. And we've got another Malaya, 1948, 20 cents. Ecuador, guessing 10 centavos. Nearly there. 1 ore. There's Norway again, 1971. One with a little squirrel on it. Now this was, I think, I want to say this was Egypt. Now these are a funny little chap. I've had a couple of these in the past in varying conditions. The date on the back is always 1893, but the main date of issue are these 2 characters at the bottom. Now that looks like a 2 and a 9. So there is a range. It's almost as, it's a bit like the Japanese coins. They don't put a calendar year on it. They put a year for the period. That is what is happening with this one. So this coin started to come out at that date, 1893, or in this case, this is showing as 1292 or 1293, something like that. But these are basically late 19th century coins. They're not silver, but the date to go by is that date there. It's a bit like the Spanish stuff. So as I was saying before, Spanish stuff, you've got 1980 on the bottom. That's not the year of issue. Same principle with this one. So you've got the date there, you've got the date there. It's not until you turn them over, get it around the right way, you've then got to play hunt the actual issue date. Well, that one's got an issue date in the star. The issue date on this one is that date, and that is a period within the reign of whatever king or emperor it was. I've got a handful from the 1890s through to the very early 1900 somethings, so it'll be an interesting one to pull when we do get it. Nigeria, 10 kobo, we've not seen one of them for a while. Here we are, 1 shilling or 10 cents from New Zealand. Yep, 1967. Another one with a lot of zeros on it, I'm gonna guess is probably Korea. Yeah, there we go, Bank of Korea. One of whatever. 1 won. I don't think it's going to be a won, I think it might be something else. But 1969. Here we are, 1924, Austria. That's 200. Groschen, I think. I don't think it was Groschen, I think it was something else at that point. 1947, American cent, so that's going to be another wheat penny. Yeah, it's in pretty good condition. No mint marks, it's probably going to be Philadelphia. 25 piastres, 1952. Republic Libanese, so Lebanon. Got the tree on there, so we know what that one is. Portugal, 1946, 50 centavos. 2 left. Slavui, who? 2017. Oh, 1 kuna. Right, Croatia again. Yeah, that's obviously an area or the bird or something, but that is 1 kuna. And the last one is something that I didn't take out of my little postal delivery. This is very, very coincidental. 1 Reichspfennig with an A mint mark, so Berlin, and on the back, if I cover up the particular logo, I don't know if you can see that very well now. There we go. It's got the German eagle on it. So it says Deutsches Reich around the edge. And this date is 1942. I don't know if you can see that at all. I'm trying to get the light on it without my thumb being in the way. Big slabs of meat. So that is a very nice one to have. Just trying to give it a bit of a clean up with my thumb. Just trying to get some of the scuzz off. Right, tell you what I will do, so you can actually see what it looks like without my thumb being in the way. I'll try and remember to blur it, but I'll blur the logo out. But that is the coin. That's a 1 Reichspfennig. I'll put that to one side and have a closer look at that. Right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go away now and have a quick look at this one, because I'm not too sure. That's 1895 and it's Russian. And I'll come back in a sec, just out of interest. This is bugging me, this one. And I'll be back in a sec and I'll let you know. You lot have been shouting at me, haven't you? Saying, that's not Russian. You know what? You're right, that's not Russian. It blooming looks Russian. Twin-headed eagles, the shield, the ribbon detail across the top. It's Austrian. There's me trying to say I'm getting into me Russian stuff. Yeah, well, we all make mistakes at some point. But yeah, that's Austrian, and it's 1895, and it's 10 Heller or 10 Hellers. I'm not too sure. Yeah, it's only made of nickel. It's not silver or anything fancy like that. Just looking on screen at the moment. 1895. Oh, trust me, I've picked the most common year, 79 million. So in this condition, this one I'd say is probably 50p, maybe £1 to a collector. But hey, it's going on the bundle for later. So what we've now got is that little lot left, and we will go through those in another video in a week or so's time. But until then, hopefully you enjoyed this little look through, see the bag of goodies that have been donated. If you enjoyed it, please consider a like, leave a comment, let me know which is your favourite, which one you'd like to see a little bit more detail on, for example. And I might be able to go into detail on one or two coins as a separate video in itself. If you're new to the channel, thanks for sticking around to the end. Consider clicking that subscribe button. It does really help the channel grow. I'm still trying to get out there. And until the next time, folks, enjoy the sunshine, stay safe, and I'll see you later. Cheers all.